Welcome back, episode 133 of Revisited, and kind of a topic we've talked about before, but not really, because we are talking about why Superman is hard to write for. Video essay by The Closer Look. As always, never heard of him, no hard feelings.
But I've never heard of him. I've actually heard of him.
Oh, I have not.
He has a very, unless I'm mistaken, I should have looked at this before. Yes, he has a very good video on Wonder Woman 1984.
Who can't have one except for High Top Film?
Cosmo. It couldn't make a good. It'd be difficult for Cosmo to make a video where it's just like, this is a known thing, we all accept it.
I hear Madam Web is pretty good. I haven't seen Madam Web, but don't go to the Madam Web.
I've also not seen Madam Web.
Well, we were supposed to watch it all together with Mike, Kelly, Amber, Ralph.
It was sponsored by Manscaped. All right, gamers. Father's Day is coming up, and you know what that means.
The ad, understand it.
Wolf, pepper it in a little bit. What are you doing? Just jamming it in!
Made a series where we are eating good, brothers. Normally, I only do a few of these videos a year, but we are being blessed in the year 2024. Sony is really at all has a job that is just out of character for her to have. Also, one thing I should bring up here is Dakota Johnson's performance as Cassandra.
Okay, you see, I understand, you know, moving on to a little bit of a different topic as you're in the middle of something, but he goes, obviously it was, I don't know what the character is, but if it doesn't fit her character, I'm going to say that it is, she's a more reserved person or a colder person, and she's in a field where she has to help people, so it's against her character. And
but then you could also say that would help her character, because it's not so much of trying things that aren't going to work and wasting your time on a specific thing. Let's say there's 3 people that need help. You may go to the person that most has the chance to survive. More cold, calculating and such.
I'm just saying, it's...
Cosmo's not good, I understand.
Just don't in the middle of your point, because... That seems like the beginning of a point.
But to be the most fair, it could have been the end of the point. Because he could have been explaining her character for a good 3-4 minutes. And then her job is this, which doesn't really work with her field. To be the most fair, we didn't hear the entire point. I understand Cosmo's not good.
Have any clothes, and he just sees some clothes lying around. Clark finds the unattended clothing outside, he takes them, and he continues on his way. But what if we take the opportunity to have a cute character moment that's specific to Superman? I personally don't think Clark Kent would steal clothes, even if he really needed them. I could see him going up to the door and asking for the clothes. This would be a cute chance to have some fun dialogue showing that Clark is nice almost to a fault. Oh, sorry, I forgot. That scene would be too long. We have to have a short scene like...
So he was right in a roundabout way.
Yes, he was right in it could have been better served for his character, but just going, you could have had a cute scene that doesn't really say anything. That doesn't really offer anything. You could say, you could have a cute scene where he runs up and it's an older lady and she goes, "Ooga," and that's something. Or he has to sort of excuse, like, why do you need clothes? And he has to go, a bear took him, or lie or something like that. And then you get, he's not a very good liar. But just going, he has a cute scene. I agree with it, but it doesn't, it's a surface level. Yeah, I guess. Cold water is refreshing.
It's a nitpick if nothing else. But for this specifically, I really hated his mocking, we had to have a short scene. Like,
and then there's
that really grated on me. I don't know why.
It's I don't know. It might just be the way that he does things that I'm just like, we might have to do like a positive, something that we agree on. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
Because he's done like Suicide Squad, the bad one.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to, just to see, like, because with the Rash Plays thing, that's a good example of, yeah, but what?
I agree, but you're so bad at this.
Oh, he's so bad at this.
Description boys.
Not super description boys. By popular demand, here's my video on how Superman is hard to write for. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, that's about it.
Obviously, I don't think
there is an argument to be made that Superman is hard to write for, depending on the audience you're trying to cover.
Yeah, I was about to say, depending on what you're going for. If you're going for a character thing, then obviously it's super easy to do that. Put him in something that his morals are contradicted, or where he has to save a bunch of people and he can. He has
or his morals are unwavering in the face of things that are super bad or contradictory by their very nature.
But it, if you're talking about in terms of big punch, well, you've got bigger punch or you've got kryptonite.
I've said this before, but a lot of people look for in their superhero material essentially the cathartic fight that's going to end whatever the conflict is. And it's really hard to root for Superman if 80% of your love is set up for the cathartic fight, and then the cathartic fight is the 80%, the 20% is the setup. It's really hard to write for a Superman because he's so powerful, he's so strong, that it makes almost every villain under him look like the quote-unquote underdog in that instant. So if you have a Batman, a Question, even a Captain America, somebody that doesn't seem like they can be going against literal gods like a Thanos or what have you, it's really easy to root for them because they're the underdog and you want to root for the underdog. Who's rooting for Thanos? Even though, he had his whole plight and everything, who's rooting for the guy?
Versus Hulk, I was just like, get him!
Yeah, but that was
just because it was cool.
It was because it was cool. So, like, if you had, let's say, Thanos was the hero against Captain America, well... It's really hard to root for him in that fight because you have to levy the deck so hard against Thanos to make him back to that underdog. And that's essentially what people see Superman as. He's so strong, but it misses the very purpose of Superman in that his thing is not the conflict. The conflict is the thing. The conflict is his morals. The conflict is Clark Kent. Clark Kent is the superhero in Superman's stories, not Superman.
It's kind of like, what was Homeboy in the Captain America Civil War, where he was just like, I just wanted y'all to fight each other so that, and he had won by making, it's like, that's my victory. There was no big punch against him. It was just like, I'm just a sad old man that lost my family. Y'all fought, I win.
Yeah, y'all are broken. What's up? Do whatever.
And that's the conflict, because that in right there, it's just like, okay, any one of the Avengers can just knock his head off instantly, but it's something deeper in that where when you can't and the other person knows that you can't and they can do a lot of things, and there's so much to do. It's all about the writers.
Yeah.
It's the writers, what you're trying to accomplish. You wouldn't put a Zack Snyder in charge of a Superman because he's not that type of muff. When it comes down to it, it's just like, okay, I need two big things clashing up against each other, and they're going to clash up against each other.
And that's basically the end of his thinking. I'm going to write some like melodramatic nonsense and some existential crisis stuff and make it quote unquote tie into a deeper meaning, but it's really just kind of superficial until I get to the slow-mo action punch thing, because that's what I want.
And it looks like we're going to be talking about that muff here and now, and I hope it's in a negative connotation.
Well, let's find out.
Who is the most iconic superhero of all time?
Who is the most iconic? 5'5". Is that the record?
Unless a motherfucker come here like the highlight dude and just go iconic. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be beaten.
I feel like Dragon Ball has hit that where it just go Dragon Ball
is the most iconic. Is the most iconic.
I feel like something else has hit that. I'm gonna go ahead and say that 5 is the one to beat for now.
I don't care.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I what is it? What does it do for Spider-Man to be quote unquote more iconic than Wolverine? What does it do? What people truly mean is recognizable, popular, that type of, not iconic.
For many people, there is a clear answer. Superman. The fact the character of Superman is so iconic
This video was made just to piss me off in specific.
This was a video thumbnail.
is both a blessing and a curse for DC. A blessing for the marketing department and a curse for the writer. In this video essay, I will be analysing why Superman is so difficult to write for, so you can apply this critique to your own work. Right off the bat,
Is he basically saying, I'm going to give you the argument of this?
It sounds like so you can apply it to your own work in case you are writing a super powerful person.
Okay.
You can go, okay, these are the steps to avoid in order to give them a
But then they wouldn't be Superman. Superman is his own character.
Yeah.
It literally be, if you're writing Superman, don't do these things. And there's going to be a very limited amount of people that A, both watch this video, and B, also write Superman.
Fan fiction exists. E to T rated fan fiction exists.
R for violence.
I want to make myself clear. Superman is not a bad character. There are numerous examples of work revolving around him that have been...
Is any superhero a bad character? Or are they a product of whoever wrote them in the instance of which they were bad?
Because Superman, so what can you do? New 52 is a lot different from this, which is a lot different than the animated series.
been received very well by critics and fans alike, be it the original films in the late 70s, to the animated show, to the Injustice comic series.
Nobody should be praising Superman in the Injustice comic series.
But he is the... Is it really not that good?
It's a good comic if you understand that it's just an Elseworld tale, just like Red Sun or anything else.
But are there people that are just like, well, why doesn't Superman just do this?
There are people that are literally like, these characters are so out of character. Well, yeah, they're not the characters. This is not Superman.
Yeah, that's the point.
Literally the point. Not our Superman. Hashtag.
There are plenty of examples to prove he still has a place in our culture.
But wouldn't that also lend to there are plenty of examples of him being at least well written or competently written?
What does he mean by our culture? Like, what is going on in the world today to where Superman is an antiquated idea? I hope he explains it.
That being said...
No, he does not.
Cool it.
It's just time to speak to why he's hard to write or a bad character or whatever.
Was that a phrase back in the 70s, 80s?
Sure.
It is a very defendable statement to say Superman is the hardest superhero to write for.
No. I honestly think Wolverine is harder to write for than Superman. Because a lot of his stuff is just like angry finding himself. So how do you make that interesting
over and over again? You can pop in hey, now he has a young ward that he has to take care of, and they soften him and he warms up to them.
But Wolverine is essentially an unkillable killing machine. The only thing he gets by on is the fact that he's cool. But beyond that, what is there to... Why is he easier to write than a nice guy? A nice, good guy?
I'm sure somebody who has the Wolverine knowledge that you have of the Superman knowledge, you would be like, but there's this and there's this and there's this.
I mean, absolutely. But at the same time, I am strictly saying that I think it would be harder to write for a Wolverine than a Superman.
Why is that? Well, there are a number of reasons, but the foremost of all is this. He is perfect.
Completely.
There has never been a perfect Superman. Even the one you're showing right now on screen gave up his powers for love. He was
letting people
get hurt and killed. He made a selfish decision for himself, for his love. How is that perfect?
That's kind of.
Yeah. And then, while he's depowered, he gets beat up by a truck driver, and then he goes back and bullies the truck driver. How is that perfect? And it's petty.
And perfect in what way? That he saves people? That's Batman does that. He has morals. Batman has morals. What
Spider-Man has
I'd
morals?
like to see his what his definitions of perfect is and see if it applies to other superheroes.
He is extremely powerful.
So that doesn't speak to his perfection, really.
No. Shazam is extremely powerful. What's that mean?
Unless it's a compilation of all the things that he's going to mention.
But then Spider-Man is super powerful.
Extremely intelligent.
Spider-Man!
Okay, we're looking at the Hulk for now.
Extremely handsome.
Spider-Man!
What does it matter if he's handsome? He's not leveraging that in any way.
I mean, all superheroes to some degree are basically god people.
I guess we've eliminated the Thing. But yeah, I don't really think that his attractiveness should really factor into how difficult it is to write for him.
Yeah, no.
Because is he granted anything based upon his handsomeness? Is he allowed into the UN because it's like, oh, that's a pretty muff?
Yeah, and we're also talking about Spider-Man. We're also talking about the Hulk right now. And these are just the big, everybody knows superheroes.
Has an unwavering set of morals and is generous.
Well, we're in Spider-Man.
But we're still talking about Batman as well. Handsome.
The extremely powerful part is
he's powerful in his own way because he can.
We gotta stop with this Batman's a normal guy bush. He is a superhuman. We gotta stop with this narrative.
But extremely intelligent. In his world, there's not many people that he can't deal with. You know, they'll put up barriers. Oh, here comes Poison Ivy, and she's got a different type of plant that he needs to figure out. But he does.
I've said this before. There is almost no power Superman has that Batman cannot build.
Is there really a comic book where it's just like, this dude is always like a quarter of the strength of his rogue galleries? They all have to be roughly around an equal strength in terms of either their threat level or their power, their intelligence, or whatever have you, to be that threat. So in terms of power, it doesn't really matter too much if you're just talking about big punching.
Loved by everyone in his world, apart from the villains he fights.
He's not loved by everyone. There are some people that are just like, Superman. But yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, we've knocked off a lot of people. Spider-Man, Hulk, Batman.
If there were a job interview and superheroes were to be asked about their flaws, most of them would respond talking about their traumatic past and list a wide variety of flaws. If Superman were being interviewed and he was questioned about his weaknesses, he would respond with, "I care too much," or "I work too hard."
No, he would definitely talk about his abandonment issues, his familial issues in terms of his legacy, his ancestry, that type of stuff.
The duality between the Superman and the Man of, I can't really be everywhere even though I'd like to be, so people will suffer while I am sleeping, as it were.
Yeah, even the human things. There's a comic where he's trying to pinpoint somebody screaming, and he ends up hearing everything around him. And he hears some person playing a song. He's just like, I really didn't want to eavesdrop on them. And that's part of it. Like, even though he's supposed to be doing this thing of just pinpointing, using his powers strictly for this, he is eavesdropping on people. He can't help it sometimes. He literally says, I couldn't help it. I love the song. It got stuck in my head.
And couldn't it also be like, I can't bring myself to kill somebody for the greater good?
He's killed some people for the greater good.
But, you know.
But yeah, that could be a flaw if you strictly want to boil it down. But I don't like. He's too trusting. That's an issue with him.
This very much leaves the writer with little to work with, as for many people, a character's weaknesses are a fundamental part of what makes them interesting.
But you're looking at the Superman instead of Clark Kent as well.
You're also not looking at the purpose of Superman comics, which is people looking at the flaws of themselves when they compare themselves to a Superman or Clark Kent. Again, Clark Kent is the main crux of what these are. There's a New 52 comic, and New 52 is not very good, but there's a New 52 comic where quote unquote Clark Kent dies. And the people in the Daily Bugle are just sitting around talking about...
Why did you open your water
because
bottle,
I realized,
put it to your lips as you're talking,
I realized
and then put it down? Like, did your hand grow a brain and just start? You are thirsty.
it was to drink, and then I went, oh no,
I'm the one talking. It's me.
So I can't do
He's
that.
talking, so I can. There's a little bit of a time for me to take a drink. Oh, wait a second. That's me.
Cooked. Just cooked. So Lois, I think she was at a competing brand at the time, and she goes, there was a gas explosion, and my first instinct was, what happened? What's the story? Let me get the scoop. And Clark's first instinct was to help people, and it made her feel ashamed about herself because her first instinct was not, let me help the people. Let's see what's wrong if anybody needs that assistance. And then she was like, that just made me a better person. Like, I felt like I helped the people. We both got our story. And now I start looking towards the people as opposed to the story first. And that is a very good thing. Like, as much as it's hated, and I also hate the comic, there's the Superman Walks Across America where he just kind of talks to people. I feel like that encapsulates a lot of what Superman can be. Again, terrible comic. Don't read it, but it encapsulates. There is a Superman comic of Superman fighting a racist band of brothers that's
of course there is.
And of course, Superman punches the KKK.
Yeah, and Lois Lane turns black.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Superman turned black too, I think.
Yeah. And he's fine with it.
Although this is only a single obstacle, and some Superman writers have found an answer.
No. It is the fault of the writer if they cannot make a character interesting. I don't care how perfect the character is. Because if it's been shown that it can happen before, then it can happen again.
Then you do it.
If you're not good enough, don't take the job.
You are given a world in which you've got a character. Yes, the character is established, but you can do whatever you want in that world to change that character, to make him waver, to do anything with it. And you just go, I can't, because the kid, this kid. No, that's on you then.
His character. Put him in no-win scenarios where he is forced to compromise himself on some level.
Well, that's not really necessarily his character.
And that's not what's needed. One of the coldest I understand I'm bringing up a lot of examples of
but this is what the purpose is. I'm not even really needed here today.
One of the coldest Superman ones is a little black kid gets kidnapped and she's just by a bunch of robots, and she's just like, it doesn't matter, Superman's coming to save me. She's held up, she's crying, and the robot's like, I've studied you and I know how to beat you. And Superman is literally walking through, and this robot has this big speech like she's nothing, she's nobody, she doesn't deserve to be saved. And Superman's like, yes, she is. She is a somebody, and she just keeps walking. She's like, we're going home. I know we are. And he goes, yes, ma'am, you are. And he's just standing there with the biggest. It's one of the coldest things in the world. But there was no like obstacle for Superman. It was just a super cool thing of his character of, no, she does matter. She is a person. I don't care. I will take all this time out my day to go to this planet to save this single person. Awesome. No. Moral. Relatable. Perfect. Shut up.
In Man of Steel, there is a scene towards...
You cannot break!
Yeah, there is.
Man of Steel!
Yeah, there is.
Here's
Look
the
at
thing.
that. Oh, we can't run.
Here's the thing, and this is the problem with this ending scene of Man of Steel. I have no problem with Superman killing Zod. I have a problem that Superman is not established to not want to kill people, to not want to kill creatures. You are
just did it
forced
here and
based
now.
on your pre-existing knowledge of Superman to go, oh, Superman doesn't really kill people. This Superman, you have no instinct that he doesn't kill people, that he doesn't want to kill people. If there was a scene where a raccoon had got hit by a car and Podkid's like, some people sometimes it's better to just put people out of their misery and let them suffer, or if it's just like, let's save them.
He was on the farm and he was looking at a cow and his laser beams came out by mistake.
And he got traumatized. Anything that showed I'd rather not kill anybody. It hurts me to kill people. Even if you wanted to go, this is the last person of my race besides me, and I have to take them out. There could be something there. There is no characterization of why he doesn't want to kill Zod, of why he shouldn't kill Zod. Stop the bush!
Hey, Clark, didn't you crash a spaceship with
Yes,
potentially
I
billions
did!
of your people? So we can't really have that. This is the last of my people. Like, well, you killed them all. Krypton had his chance. It's over. Well, you don't get to decide that, Clark.
In Man of Steel, there is a scene towards the end where Zod is about to kill a family, and there is only one way Superman can save them.
No, he can fly straight up! Straight up fly!
He can put his hands over his eyes. He can try to, like, frost breath his beam. There's almost infinite number of things. He could bite him. I don't care. He just went, If it was
he had the force to break his neck, but not the force to turn his head, to stop his head from turning. Am I supposed to buy that?
Just establish that he was tired, or show him trying to fly away and Zod overpowers him. Something.
Digs into the ground.
He's just something, but it was just, there's no way. You're being told that there's no way other than this, and you're not.
And you've accepted it.
You're not really thinking past that of just fly up, move his head, put your hand in front of move forward, and push him into the wall, and then just go. All right, family, hit the bricks, go a little to the right. There's almost.
Push his head down.
Outside of pushing his head to the right to slice the family in half, what could he not do? He could have just held him there.
Again, he had the force to break his neck, but not keep his head from turning.
It's
How does
crazy.
this make sense? This is a forced morality thing for a guy whose morals we don't even know. Because his father said maybe it's okay to let a bus full of children die.
To protect you.
And there is only one way Superman can save them, by breaking the rules of his unbreakable moral code.
Based on what? Again, this is pre-established stuff. See, here's the thing. Zack Snyder is so ashamed of the Superman we know, but wants to use the Superman we know. It's just like in Bats v Soup, where Bruce Wayne is like, every time your Boy Scout saves a cat out of a tree, you write a headline story about him, because in our minds, Superman saves cats out of trees, but this Superman does not save cats out of trees. But
that's not established.
We have to think that of Superman in order for the things we're seeing to make sense. In order for this scene to happen, we have to know Superman, because from this movie, we do not know that this is the Superman that doesn't kill people. Stop the bush!
Yeah, this is crazy to just accept this.
Stop the bush!
And murder Zod.
He even did it to the right! They're standing up now!
No, as soon as his hand turns slightly to the right, it's just like off.
What? They're standing up. They were on their knees.
In my personal opinion, I liked this scene.
Oh man, I thought he was gonna say he didn't like it.
How can you can like the overarching story of the thing? Superman doesn't want to kill. He does kill. He's forced to kill. You can but
I understand it.
How we got there is terrible.
It's a big problem,
and because of that, the scene itself is terrible.
It's just essentially coming in at the end of the movie, him snapping his neck and just going raw, and you just gotta go, oh, I guess he doesn't like killing people.
Yeah.
Because that's about as much information as we got from watching the whole movie and somebody watching the last 15 minutes of it.
Superman a complexity and helped to make him feel more human.
There are so few superheroes that are as human as Superman. I don't know what you want.
He's already established him as perfect.
But what he means is make Superman feel more vulnerable.
Nah.
But he doesn't understand the vulnerabilities of a Clark Kent and Superman. He only sees it in terms of the surface level. He's a perfect dude. Oh no, he's not perfect here, so now he feels more human. Even though in this movie itself, we established how imperfect he is by doing things that are bad, like flying through buildings and such.
If I were the writer for this scene, I would have probably done the same thing. However, because this was a...
You can do it, but you can set it up better.
Yes. You can do the thing. My issue is not with the thing. It is how we arrive to the thing.
And you gotta set up the thing better, because it's just like, just move. Of course, they're moving to the right and there's this big rubble that's blocking them further. Okay, fine, whatever. I guess he can't move his head up, left, down. Okay,
I guess
fine.
they can't duck.
I guess they can't
lie
duck.
down flat.
I guess they can't fly. I guess he can't put his hand in front of his eye. I guess all of these things have to happen.
I guess they can't run forward past the rubble where the rubble is in order to prevent this. There's no way to get through this except death.
Change from the source material, where Superman has a very clear no-kill rule. This scene
where's that rule? Where is that rule?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if it was just like, I'm gonna be a normal person, like I'm gonna press this button to fire a bunch of nukes unless you kill me, I'm pretty sure if it was just like, this is the only way, it's the only way.
My whole thing is, I just want to know where the clear rule is. I think that's more of Superman's morality and the preciousness of life, and I feel like he doesn't feel like
the fact that he can, but does that necessarily mean that he should be able? Because he can kill anybody. Everything's made of cardboard and all that.
Became a controversial one amongst fans, and for a fair number of them, this change from the source material was received very poorly. This comes back to my opening statement. The fact Superman is so iconic...
Right there. You watch the whole movie, you go, okay, what is he crying about? Is he crying about the fact that he had to kill somebody? The fact that that's the last of his race? The fact that he couldn't do anything else about this? What is he... Or is it a mixture of all of them? He's not good enough. What is it? Is it a mixture of all of them? Is it one of them? There's not really something that tells you this is what it is, because the character wasn't characterized properly.
All it tells us is that he's in anguish over what he just had to do.
Is a curse for the writer. When it comes to writing Superman, there are two choices a writer can make. They can either stay true to the source material and appease the fans, but end up with a potentially flat, boring character.
There's no such thing as Superman being a flat, boring character, because he's an awesome character. Please read comics.
No.
You could potentially make anything a flat, boring character if you don't write it well enough.
I was going to say, isn't this a path for essentially any writer writing anything that's already has an adaptation? You can make Spider-Man the nerdy, shy person who has responsibilities and all that. Or you can just make him this awesome, hey, I don't give a I'm going to fight people and kill them type of person. But you're going to piss people off, but you're still going to essentially have the mantle of the character.
How is Batman not a flat character?
Because he has abandonment issues and
No, those are character flaws. Those are things deep rooted in him. Do those change? And if not, how is he not a flat character?
Robin.
Examples of incarnations that have done this are the original animated series and Superman Returns.
Are they flat, boring characters? The problem with Superman Returns is the continuity and that the film itself is boring. It's not enough of the catharticness to it.
Or the writer can change Superman, give him flaws and weaknesses.
He has flaws and weaknesses. You do not see them.
I was about to say, he has not really established who Superman is.
No.
Is that the iconicness that you understand Superman? He's described him as perfect, super strong, intelligence and all that. But he talked about his morality, but he didn't really talk about anything other than the killing thing.
One of my favorite Superman stories, what is it, Superman Peace on Earth or For All Seasons? I can't remember which one.
Fake fan.
It's one where a homeless person asks Superman for some food, and Supes goes, okay, instead of that, I'm just gonna feed the world for a day. And he goes around it and feeds the world, and then he goes to some foreign country, and that foreign country sees him as a terrorist, so they try to kill him. But he's really just trying to bring food to the people. So he takes out the army that's trying to stop him, but in doing so, it poisons the food he had brought. So now that continent, that country is not fed. So he has failed in his mission. And then he remembers the words of his father, I believe it is, where he goes, sometimes it's not enough to do good. Sometimes you have to show people how to do good. Something along those lines. So instead of just trying to go around physically feeding people, he decides to share knowledge with people in the hopes that they can cultivate these crops and build food for the people on their own. He literally failed in the mission he wants, and he learned a lesson from it and applied it in a different way to hopefully one day further accomplish his goals.
Perfect.
Oh.
Even in failure, you succeed.
How could you ever be any more perfect? An L is just a W spelled wrong for you.
This helps to make him more interesting.
No. See, your interest in a character are flaws, are readily apparent flaws, I should say. Things where a character goes, I don't want to...
sad.
Yeah, I'm sad. I don't want to kill, but I gotta kill. Oh, I'm a broke boy that is down on his luck, so I'm just such a broke boy down on his luck, hurt, scrambling to my apartment, hoping my wife sews me up. Like 80% of, not wife, girlfriend, or whoever's in the... Because Spider-Man not allowed to be happy.
I'm scared of tornadoes because my dad was taken away by one. That could have been something. He could have saved somebody from a tornado and just had the Mary Jane Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Are we doing this?
The return. Or, even different, He could have hesitated when he saw a tornado.
Yep.
Just like, whoop, remember his father died, and then see somebody
it
and
could have
go.
been him in his Clark Kent garb, and just like, I can't change to Superman. Hesitates, thinks back, and goes, "I'm sorry, Dad," and rushes in.
There's so many ways that could have been done. And to at least try to make one of the worst scenes in superhero media better. Because make no mistakes, it's one of the worst scenes in superhero media ever.
Are legitimately like 7 feet from a tornado, and they're just like, no, they're not getting whipped around. No shrapnel, nothing, no rocks, nothing. It's just like, oh, that sucks.
The absolute worst. The absolute worst part of it is, Pa Kent goes and rescues a kid. They're like, "Where's the dog?" Clark's like, "I'll go get him." Pa Kent's like, "No, I got it," and hands Clark the kid instead of letting Clark go there.
Able-bodied
legit
man.
crawl to it in the amount of time. Could have ripped it up in one go. Because nobody questioned Pa Kent when the dog was rescued. Like, did he just do a superhuman trait by lifting some big...
run slightly faster than a normal human and just go adrenaline.
Don't even gotta run slightly faster. Because Pa Kent's a 60-year-old man.
He got there and he had plenty of time to just go, nah,
and
don't
he
do
still would have made it if his foot didn't get caught. He still would have made
it. Didn't get caught. He just got, it was just hurting. He just put a little weight on. He's like, no, can't do it.
He still would have made it.
Can't crawl. Nah, I'm done.
I'm cooked.
I'm cooked. Don't worry about me.
Like,
it's so dumb.
and that's so much of what Man of Steel is. It is just...
We're doing this on a different day.
It's so much of what Man of Steel is. It's just trying to get to the thing it wants to get to.
We have an end goal of he couldn't save his father.
It's so much of the boys.
Tornado.
Yeah, he could. It's got to be something natural that he cannot stop, and can't save his father.
Something that he could have, but he didn't. Instead of heart attack, he absolutely couldn't do anything. No, he could have done it. So this teaches him.
And it's a worthless lesson. It's getting closer. It's a
come 7:30.
It's a worthless lesson because what was the lesson?
Oh my goodness! What the? Did they get a ladder and just go right in the window?
It's a worthless lesson at the end of the day because we never see Clark struggle with saving a person while trying to protect his identity.
What was the fruits of the lesson? What did he learn?
Essentially nothing.
And makes it easier to write a more compelling story.
Okay, that's what you want. It's easier.
Yes.
See, it's easy to write a Batman or even a Spider-Man. Put them in a situation where they can be hurt them, make them struggle to get back up, and then finish it off. It's not hard to do that. You just want things to be easier for a writer. It shouldn't be. This is your job. You write Superman.
You put him into whatever situation you want to. So long as it's logical, you can make it be like, okay, now I can understand why Superman does not just rip off this mob's head.
One of my favorite Justice League episode is the one where he gets I think it's called War World, where he gets trapped on a planet with no with a red sun or no yellow sun, and he just has to fight and navigate through the planet without his powers. It's an awesome thing, but at the end of the day, he's still Superman Clark Kent, the person. He just does not have the powers now. And that's the thing. Superman / Clark Kent are good characters first and then a superhero second.
However, If the writer does this, such as in Man of Steel, a large number of fans will resent them for it.
What were his flaws? What was the compelling thing here about Man of Steel?
Yes. What did he question? What did he learn? What did he grow from?
What is his favorite brand of lawnmower? I can't, but...
This is a no-win scenario for the writer.
No!
No.
Write Superman faithfully and make it good!
Write it well.
Because we have seen several good Superman comics. So it is a thing you can do. People love the first and the second Superman movies. What happened?
It wasn't always like this. Back in the post-World War II era, people wanted to read about flawless men in a flawed time because it gave them hope.
We've changed. It's us. It ain't him. He could be the unwavering rock. It's us that have been jaded and stuff. We want darker and grittier. Watchmen. Mr. Manhattan.
Shouldn't we want at this time flawless men doing good?
I think that is preferable.
It's
certain times.
It's been almost no better time than to want that.
Future and offered some escapism. However, as the times have moved on, what the audience wants has moved on along with it. Now people want to see flawed characters with dark pasts and murky morals.
I don't want to see that. I want to see that.
no.
I want to see that in particular character. Like if that's your character, I can rock with it. But that's not point blank period what I want. Like one of my favorite genres of manga is slice of life. It's just a bunch of characters being characters in a lighthearted series for the most part. The one I'm reading, When Flowers Bloom or something like that, is mostly dramatic, and it's probably one of my least favorite because it's not that lighthearted thing. It's just drama after drama after drama, and it's just like it gets.
Let these must be happy.
And for the most part, they are happy. At least the couple is happy, and I like when they're together. But even when the couple are together and happy, it's just like, oh, I was so worried they wouldn't like the thing, or they really bog down in like the crisis of it, and it's just like,
Characters such as Batman and Captain America have evolved with the times quite well, but
how did Captain America evolve with the time?
Hell Hydra.
They hated this.
But I wish you would have shown like a graph of yearly Superman sales versus Batman sales. You'd be like, Superman was leading up until like the 70s.
The death of Superman. Because it killed a lot of the interest in the character when he came back.
But it would have been like, okay, now Batman is overtaking as the world becomes more cynical. And just show that like this is when
Batman came out with good movies.
I'm talking about in terms of what his argument is.
There is no argument.
The times have changed.
Superman's last movie was like 81.
No. This is his argument.
His argument is flawed.
No, I understand.
Which means he loves it.
But if he's writing this down and he's believing this argument, he should have been like, this is around the time where Batman overtook Superman. What happened there? The Cold War, Reagan, Nixon, whatever you have to say to be like, oh, this is when the world started getting more cynical.
Bush, you gotta.
Yeah. And
the Great Depression.
And this is why it was like, wait a second, that was back then. But you just go, this is when the turn started happening, and this is when we started getting introduced to more harder characters like John Johns or whatever. And just BS whatever you gotta do to do that. But to just go, nah, they want it now. It's like, that doesn't really, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Superman has largely stayed the same.
Again, how did Captain America change, dude? You gave him 0 examples. How did Batman change, honestly?
Did the people not want flawed characters back then?
Batman was still very popular. Spider-Man was one of the most popular, and he's not but flaws. You know when the X-Men exploded? After their movie. Maybe movies have something to do with it.
Iron Man.
I'm
Iron Man was a nobody.
He was a B-list hero. He is S tier now.
Thor. We went into Thor like
this is gonna be a
movie, but we needed to get to the Avengers, so let's go.
Like, let's not act like we don't see what happened here. They came out with a bunch of good movies and it gained an interest from the populace, and that morphed into their interest in merchandising, comics, that type of thing. I've said it before, but I don't think there's a single hero, maybe Spider-Man, with more outside of comics media than Batman. Cartoons, movies, live action series.
A song by Tim Erstein.
I can't think of a single one. In the time between Superman's last movie and Superman Returns, Batman had like 5 movies.
And his animated movies are...
Like, what? I remember having the discussion with somebody. There was a time when the DC animated universe was coming out, and it would be Batman, Justice League, Batman, Superman, Batman, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Batman, Justice League, Superman. Like, everything, every other film was like Batman or Batman adjacent. Even Justice League Dark, which has all to do with Batman, had that man front and center on the cover.
When Kite Man was shown off for the first time, somebody retweeting was just like, Wonder Woman still has not had her own cartoon, and Kite Man gets one. Like, that's kind of nuts.
And it's based off of the popularity of a Batman character.
Nobody cares about Kite Man itself. It is the spinoff of this world.
It's crazy!
Nuts.
Batman has always been a dark character, but look at Captain America.
Batman hasn't changed yet, did he? Batman changed with the time? No, he's always been like this. The world is...
We changed. Okay. We're ready for the darkness.
How has Captain America changed?
He also served the same purpose. He was a flawless character, whose purpose was to give the people hope. Yet he has evolved with the times into a darker one. Why hasn't Superman...
Examples such as... with reference to, i.e.
This is what the
I would not claim that, because I don't know Captain America. I know him from this. And I know him from Charging Star. He's my
Final
man in Marvel too. That is where he got killed in Civil War.
And guess which side he was fighting for? People shouldn't give up their identities. What is he talking about? And Superman, there was a push to make Superman a dark character in New 52, and guess what? It was one of the worst runs of Superman of all time. New 52 Superman sucked.
They had a bunch of different, like, Supermen with the death of Superman.
Yes. The reign of the Superman. And those comics did actually pretty well. And then Superman came back, and that comic did very well. And then his series fell off of in cliff.
It was the black suit that did it, and the mullet.
Done the same. The reason, Superman's character is an archetype. Captain America's is not.
What? Why is Superman one but Cap not? I want to hear this, because Captain America. Why do you think he's
gonna explain it this point?
He's Flag Man. What is
his name? Is American America.
The point of Superman.
All right, let mosey on along right over here. Captain America isn't an archetype, but Superman is. Okay, yeah.
And then the point of Superman.
Punching Hitler for America. Not an archetype.
Man, is that he embodies the absolute best in humanity.
The point of Superman was to rally people that were facing systemic problems, such as the Jewish people, which is why the Jewish creators created him in the first place. And then other Jewish creators started rallying behind their creation of Superman and created characters like Captain America. That was the point of Superman, to be a man that was morally good in a world that hated people just for who they are.
And a big old honking America flag in the background. And stop right in front of it. I agree, Zack Snyder. I pick up what you're putting down.
He is powerful, yet incorruptible.
How was Captain America corrupted?
How is Batman corruptible?
Is supposed to be the perfect man. So if you...
Based on what?
Yeah.
Can you bring up the reason?
What are you basing this on?
Can you bring up an interview? Can you bring up a storyline? Can you bring up anything that goes, the purpose of why we created Superman was to be a perfect man? And he can never be anything other than that. So in 90 years in the future, when you're still reading Superman comic, just know if he's not a perfect being, that this is not our vision. We are the forefathers.
Sure, it's showing Zack Snyder's Man of Steel a lot.
Because it feels very much like he likes this interpretation of Superman, whereas...
Flawed.
So he's not going to use the Superman Returns and that type of stuff because that's not what he's looking for.
Gave him weaknesses, he ceases to be the Superman. This presents a paradox. Writing for an archetype well is incredibly hard, as archetypes are flat and uncomplex. The more a writer makes Superman interesting, the less like Superman he becomes.
Pause.
Where's that coming from? Is that from you?
An archetype is flat and uninteresting. Joker is an archetype. He's a crazy superhero. I mean, supervillain.
He is the crazy supervillain.
I don't think and that's the whole thing where I'm fighting against. Where I just I don't like labels like that. Where it's just like, you are this and therefore you can't be this. You are an archetype, so you can't be interesting. That's just not true. You can be a funny character. A coward. Usopp is a coward. He's interesting. That's an archetype.
The more a writer makes Superman interesting, the less like Superman he becomes. All-Star Superman is one of the most Superman comics of Superman. And it is lauded as the greatest Superman comic of all time. He could not be more Superman, and yet it's the most quote-unquote interesting he's ever been. What are we talking about there? What's going on there? Please pick up a comic. Because it's so weird that he brings up the Snyder's, but he hasn't brought up any of the comics where Superman has killed. Those types of things. Anything. It is literally everything he's shown has been MCU stuff, DCU stuff, all movie stuff, Injustice. What are we talking about here? The most popular mainstream things possible. The most popular mainstream superhero fighting game. The most popular cartoon series of these characters. The most popular
Superman
movies.
versus the Elite.
Not even a Superman versus the Elite, which showed that.
Which was the whole point.
Which is like, hey, Superman, you are not built for this world. Which is taken from What's So Wrong with Truth, Justice, and the American Way, I believe it is. Which is, hey, Superman, you're not made for this world anymore. They need a darker, grittier hero that's gonna kill people.
This Skull Muff is killing people. He got to go. And Superman's like, not put him in jail. Like, what we did. So he got to go now.
We put him in the ground. How about that? And then Superman snaps. Everyone pisses themselves. And he goes, see what happens when I do this? No.
Y'all don't want this.
Y'all
want to see my hand.
We're
Less like Superman he becomes. In my spare time, I am a bit of a comic book nerd.
I couldn't tell.
He hasn't brought up a single comic.
Unless he just doesn't like Superman. And he just reads.
But he hasn't even brought up a Captain America comic.
And therefore, here it comes.
I have read a fair amount of them, a lot of them being Superman ones, and the only comic book series that heavily involves Superman, which I thoroughly enjoyed, was the Injustice series.
A fair amount of them being Superman, and the only ones that I did like was the dark, flawed Superman.
He wasn't flawed, he's a murderer!
Flaws. Corrupted. The more interesting that you make him, the less like Superman he becomes.
I enjoy those comics because I know that they're not these characters. This is not Harley Quinn. This is not Green Arrow. This is not Superman. This mom's just like, yeah, Superman, this is what he should be.
However,
Hey,
why'd you like it?
Hey,
He
never brought up another one of the comics he read.
No, he didn't.
I've read this, didn't enjoy. He didn't say, oh, I read Superman's Secret Identity. Oh, I've read Lex Luthor, Man of Steel. No.
And this
Or
is
was it Man of
something he
Tomorrow?
brought up earlier. And isn't this the game cover?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty.
Yes, it most certainly is. Which I think I still have downstairs from the collector's editions.
Downstairs.
any of my fellow comic fans out there, you will probably see where I'm going with this. In the Injustice series, Superman is manipulated into killing Lois Lane. This sends him into a downward spiral where he totally loses his sense of morals.
You basically just want Superman to be Superboy Prime.
Good.
Why would you want that?
This is what I want. He's more interesting because he's not...
Because he's lasering a 15-year-old's brains out?
He's not perfect, so he's good.
And becomes a tyrannical dictator.
He's a tyrant. He admits it.
But this is literally not Superman. Even just, hey, the less like Superman. This is truly just not Superman.
What about Superman? When is he just like, dang, I shouldn't be doing this. This isn't what my parents taught me. Or he goes to save somebody like, no, that's not me anymore. This is just a completely different motherfucker.
There's even a part of the storyline where John Kent, Superman's son, comes in. And he's just like, my mom wouldn't want this. What the are you doing?
Trying to get lasered, boy?
And Soup's just like,
you want some of this?
Comic book series for me around Superman, which is the most entertaining, is the one where Superman's character is the least recognizable.
But there's a difference between quality and entertainment. You're entertained by these comics. That does not make them good. I would not call most of the Injustice comics good. I think year 1 was good. I think parts of year 2 was good. After that, they become entertaining fluff. That's what these are, entertaining fluff. They are the popcorn flicks of comic books. And you're going, this right here.
And I don't see how you can say I love Superman when this is a complete 180. Everything about Superman, this is not. So if you go, I love Superman, what's your favorite comic? Injustice. It's like, well, that's not he's not doing anything that Superman is doing. It's like, I love Luffy. When do you love him? Well, when the time he just started killing Kobe. It's like, well, he wouldn't do that. So you like a different character with different traits and different morals.
Would you read a 150 chapter One Piece story where the Marines and the pirates are flipped?
What do you mean?
Luffy's a Marine. All the pirates we see in the series are Marines, and all the Marines we see are pirates. So the admirals are like the Yonko.
It'd be interesting to see how they would handle them, because what with Akainu and his whole hard justice.
But he'd basically be a kid.
I was like, what would that? But no, kid is. No, I
maybe a
wouldn't see that.
Crowish. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't see what he could be. Because he wouldn't be himself.
Hey.
Because his thing is hard justice.
But that would just flip into hard something else.
But that's not what he's hard for.
Yep. That is very true. Man is a soft.
Now, all that said and done, there are still stories revolving around the traditional Superman that I genuinely loved. If I had to give a single answer, my favourite story around Superman has to be episode 21 from season 2 of the animated series.
I love comics. I love me some comics. I love this one that came out in 2009, and I love this cartoon.
The premise to this episode is a simple, yet original one. Superman is going about his everyday life when a man from a higher dimension with godlike powers comes to him with the sole purpose...
I wonder if he's ever read the Emperor Joker storyline, which is Joker getting the powers of Mr. Mixelplate.
The fact that he didn't mention anything other than injustice,
hey,
it's not a good sign.
Hey. And even in that one, so the end of that story, and I understand, I haven't been saying spoilers for any of these things. The end of that storyline is Joker tortures and kills Batman every day and then resurrects him. And then when Superman fixes the world, Bruce still remembers that. And he's just like, I can't live with this. I have to kill the Joker. I'm going to kill him and then we'll see what goes on. Like he's driven mad by the memory and the pain of it. And Supes is like, what can I do to save him? And Spectre's like, that has to go somewhere. All that madness, all that pain and that hurt, it's got to go somewhere. And Supes is like, put it in me. Damn you, Bruce, do it. And that's the end. And he absorbs.
You have a taste?
Basically, he absorbs all his pain and his memories. And he just lives with that forever. That's cool to me. That's interesting things to me. That's Superman's goodness. He's never gonna bring this up in an argument. Yo, I took your pain. I took that from you, bruh. What you?
Of annoying him. The only way Superman can make him go back, make him say his own name backwards.
I can't even say your name forward. How am I supposed to say it backward?
No, dope. You don't have to say it backward. You have to get me to say it.
That's just a pause there for copyright.
Say what?
Kill Tipsyism! Gosh, you're thick! Now, for the last time! No.
All of those are very fun, and I had to introduce somebody to these very recently. Because I was talking about the Emperor Joker storyline.
Your 3 months are up, and this time you're not gonna cheat me out.
And then he just writes his name and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's a good gag.
Am I fun?
Oh, it's you again, Mr. Kiltipsism.
Not kill Tipsyism! Mix your spit leg! Now, the first thing I'm gonna do... Oh, nuts!
If this episode goes to prove anything, it's that it's entirely possible to write a good Superman story.
But you don't want that. You want a Superman story where he's not Superman.
This episode proves that it's possible to write a good Superman story, not the 80 years of Superman stories.
What brought up injustice in an episode of a cartoon?
And go see this evil guy and this essentially gag episode.
No, there are stories I genuinely enjoy from regular Superman, like this one episode of this cartoon.
Oh, dang.
Okay, I guess you got it.
Hey,
then.
Why did you like that episode?
You just need to have a unique idea to bring to a character who thousands of writers have spent most of their collective careers trying to come up with ideas.
Yeah, just have a unique idea.
I mean, shouldn't every comic have unique ideas? Why would anybody want to see just Spider-Man fighting Green Goblin again?
So now we don't need the flaws and any of that other stuff. So long as we have a unique idea, it's fine then, right?
So you have to just be good.
Yes.
At your job.
It's
writing
almost
Superman.
like that's the issue. That's what it comes back to. Do better, Senator. If this is what you want, all that, well, the darkness of and flaws and the therapy, like this. It's just do a good thing.
Just write the story better.
Sounds easy enough.
Look, little guy, I'm tired of this. If it's a fight you want...
Oh, it is, it is!
Fine. First, let me proofread this article, and I'll meet you on the roof in
It's good, dude.
20 minutes.
No, stop! edit the rag for you. There. Hey, what now?
The fact
It's good.
Superman is perfect has many problems.
Hey, what did that prove? All of those episodes, all of those moments, they just ate up like a minute. What did he do with those? He just went be unique.
He showed his intelligence in beating a super god being, an interdimensional super being.
But that was one of his flaws, is that he was super intelligent. So it's like it's almost like you can leverage that in interesting ways.
No.
Regardless
how about
of how
we change the very nature of the character?
And now it's good.
It leaves little room for character development, and also whenever a character is
What do you think a character development entails?
Where's Batman's character development?
perfect, just like the guy in an interview who says, "I care too much," it is quite unbelievable. When we see
Yeah, but they're lying.
Batman leaping from rooftop to rooftop,
I'm sorry.
see Batman leaping from rooftop to rooftop, it is believable. Not because he is the least outlandish hero, but because he has a rich, unique, and interesting character who...
Rich, unique, and interesting character.
That's been known for 70 years. I'm sure Superman's was that 80 years ago too. What do you...
I'm not going to mention what any of those are, or in
who can fail and whom the odds are stacked against.
Yes, Superman can fail. Superman has failed. I just said a story in which he failed.
He failed in the movie that you showcased so much here, The Man of Steel,
where he had to snap Zod's neck.
That was a hard failure.
Who can fail and whom the odds are stacked against.
When does Batman fail?
If it is a
He
story,
beats Darkseid.
If it's a story about Superman and it's going to be in opposition, the odds are going to be stacked against him. Otherwise, it's just going to be
in one shape or another.
Just punch him. And I was like, okay, so he can't punch him for what reason? That is an odd against him, and he has to overcome that odd. Correct?
Even if it's, hey, I'm fighting this person and all this debris is falling, I have to find a way to protect the people down there as well as defeat this villain. That is something stacked against him.
It would have been interesting to be like, have a fight with a Superman and maybe somebody that can alter their strength so they can become super, super weak. So when Superman goes to punch him, that he has to hold back so much, and then
he can read the change in him,
and then he holds back so much, and then he hulks back up, and it doesn't do anything to it. That would have been interesting. I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should write that.
Yeah, you're the mind they're looking for to make Superman interesting.
This creates investment. And
I'm invested in Superman and the things he does. He does.
But he has to showcase this scene to be like, bullets do not hurt him.
You are categorically not a fan of Superman, but you read some comics or at least listened to some people talk about some comics, and you had some moments where I'm like, I love this character, and it's not the big punch monkey stuff. It's the stupid, like, drink your OJ and my mom made me the suit.
My mom made me this suit. That was so good.
When we see Superman being an invincible god who glides over every obstacle and always gets the girl, it strikes us.
I was saying this to DA. Batman is drowning in puss. Talia al Ghul basically raped him because he's the perfect creature and she wanted to sire a son with him.
But what's the difference between this and Batman just in the shadows taking out 8 people? Where's the threat for him? He's got the fear on his side. He's got the tactics. He got the advantage of an overhead perspective. Where's the threat for him in that situation? You're looking at, this is cool for Batman to do this. That's like with Superman.
As unreal, and can make it exceptionally hard for us to feel investment towards the character.
This is a fantasy character.
Crazy.
This is a fantasy character and it's unrealistic for this character, so I am not invested in this character.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know at this point.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you look down below, you'll see
we're done. What? Why is there 3 minutes left?
something has changed. This channel has now surpassed 1,000 subscribers.
This video, pause. It essentially stopped at 8:40.
Yes.
You take away the Superman animated stuff, we're down to 7 minutes and a half. What the f- That's crazy. I'm like, okay, he's gearing up for his final.
Yeah.
Because I know how much time is left here.
And this is crazy because I was like, well, we still didn't really need another video. But I was like, we don't really need another video because I'll be going on this. And I was going on this. And if there was another 3 minutes of video
That's
left,
robbing us of 30 minutes, essentially.
what are we doing out here?
That's crazy.
What I'm about to say may be scripted, but every word of it is from the heart. Thank you.
We didn't thank our fans.
Damn.
we
Yeah,
must
because they like Mark Month, because they know what it does to us. No.
in the comments every time. Is this the start of Mark? Dude, every time we do a stream, all right, stream's over, T23. Hey, are you here for us? Are you here for our revisited? Or are you just waiting for the time for that
T20
T20?
time clicks away into the T23 time.
It's gonna be like Phil with his pre-stream podcast, where it's gonna be Monk just leaving in droves. Except they're gonna go, all right, it's been like an hour and a half. It's probably around the time for T23, and they're gonna be coming in droves.
Thank you for sticking around and watching these clumsily edited videos I put up. This channel is growing faster than I ever expected. 1 month ago I was growing at 10 subscribers a day, now I'm growing at 40.
Boy, it must be something to care about subscribers where they at right now.
Yeah. 1 million, over 1 million.
Hey, not good on you. Could not give two shits about y'all.
Ooh.
Unsubscribe. What?
The video you made right before this was why Batman is the best superhero. Ooh. Ooh, that probably could have been a coupling together with it, but it's too late now. Ooh. Ooh, it got double the amount of views of this video. Ooh. Ooh.
I guess we'll have to tackle that someday. This is crazy. This is not good.
Maybe that video wasn't good. Maybe I made a oopsie.
Go to the Spider-Man 2 is the best.
This is a 7-minute video. Well, this is a 7-minute video.
Bravery, we can too. And there are
Wait, go back.
the argument that such an optimistic
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh, this makes everything worse.
He doesn't understand that that's how he should look at Superman.
Yes.
feel more optimistic about the human condition, because if an average guy like Peter Parker can show such
He's not an average guy.
Yeah,
He stopped the train.
actually not an. He's an average-looking guy. He's 17, 18, just a kid. He says, but he's not an average guy.
extraordinary bravery, we can too.
He's a
And there are those out there who
superhero.
would make the argument that such an optimistic portrayal of the average human is escapism. And well, yes, it is. But it is escapism at its very best. Yes, there are Marvel.
But isn't that Superman?
He literally said they were looking for escapism.
The perfect man. What? Optimism.
How is Spider-Man an average guy?
video came after the Spider-Man came after this video. He's making the argument for Superman for Spider-Man. Which the argument could be made, but
he's not making it. He's making the opposite of it.
Hey, yo, that's nuts.
Nah. We might need to look into this channel a little bit, y'all.
I remember how to make that's on the list. How to make Spider-Man boring Far From Home. That's definitely on the list. How to waste a climax. That's kind of
what is it?
Endgame. No, the climax was fitting.
Yeah.
I'd like to. I'll check that out.
Yeah, please.
How to do a plot twist. Knives Out. Last Jedi.
Knives Out wasn't really a plot twist. It was telegraphed, really. Yeah, we're just stalling because there's nothing here.
It seems more safe after a while. Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4. Why disloyal adaptations are better. Well, that is his argument here of change Superman and everything will be great. When good shows go bad. Was it a good show? In defense of pure evil villains, but that's an archetype, and archetypes are bad.
Bad.
Yeah, you're writing themes wrong. Cool. Okay.
Considering that as of recording this, I've only ever uploaded 10 videos, I'd say that's pretty good. For those of you who don't know, I've run a gaming channel for over 3 years, and after taking a long break from it, I've come to a realization
as to just got nuked.
What?
If he said this is his 10th video, there's them boys, a couple of them missing.
How unfulfilling that channel really is. The fact the videos on my other channel are received poorly is not what bothers me. What bothers me is that they deserve that reception. But on this channel, I don't...
What was wrong with them? You didn't...
Yeah.
You didn't explain...
He just kind of stops in the middle of explaining things.
Yeah, it feels like the opening sentence of a paragraph, but it is the paragraph.
Like, hey, I'm not the most interesting person. I thought that I would have stuff to say when playing games, but I really just want to play games and I get lost in them so much that I just sometimes just stop talking for long periods of time. And I can understand why that would turn people away, because they're here to be entertained. They're here for the reactions and stuff. And if I'm not getting that because I'm just so engaged, I can understand why people just like, how about that?
Feel the same way. Every video I make is a piece of content that is not only unique, not only something...
Everybody makes unique content by the very nature that they're not the same person that made the content as the next person. Someone could make this entire same video and the content would be unique by their voice, by their cadence, by their editing. Even if it was the exact same script. You're not saying anything.
Knee-high boots are certainly a choice.
A good one.
These outfits, they are of the time.
Hey. Hip-hop culture in the early mid-2000s was not rocking.
I saw some pictures. I'm like, oh, that was what it was.
And it was coolish at the time.
Those like super silver... jacket and pants combos. Like, ew.
I was looking at the super long t-shirts with the big old baggy pants. Jerseys were super big back then. My God, what horrible looks.
I can be proud of, but something that hundreds of people actually enjoy and anticipate.
Hey, we don't give a if none of y'all enjoy our content. We enjoy it. Kick rocks.
See you in field day.
Our least viewed content and the only thing that's getting a frequent day. Kick rock.
Planned.
I lead an unremarkable life. The job I do is something anyone can do, and the feeling I will only ever be just a small cog in somebody else's machine is terrifying to me.
Get a hobby. And that's sincerely. It's just find something that you enjoy doing outside of other people, because you seem to be with this channel relying on other people's approval, and like hundreds of people are anticipating it, and now I'm more than just that job. Just find something, like do some woodworking, build a birdhouse, and just go, oh, them birds are happy.
And on top of that, I've never gotten this whole I don't want to feel like a small cog in a big machine. We're all gonna be that,
Absolutely.
no matter what mark we leave on this world. Because in 1,000 years, if this planet's still here, then who's gonna remember me? You know, even if I cured cancer, like name me 3 people that aren't like the big 5 that invented something.
Who invented a chainsaw?
What I was thinking about this the other day. Does the person that invented windshield wipers get residuals? Like, is their family just set for generations? Because it's in every car. The month that invented seatbelts. And then I went, I don't know who that is. We had a whole discussion about handwriting, who started it. Do you remember who that month was?
Lyndon B. Cursive or something like that.
Like, we don't remember this.
Yeah, so you just got to do something for yourself at that point.
Hey, who started YouTube? Who were the men or potentially women who started YouTube?
It's just gonna be a cog in a wheel. Even like the Avengers, Bob Iger could rock up and like movies canceled, and then what can you do? You're Robert Downey Jr., multi-millionaire. You gotta walk home.
Kick rock.
Kick rocks. And you die. It's field day. We're going in a new direction.
Gout Man 3.
Feeling that I will never find what I'm truly good at and that I will never live up to my potential has left me somewhat depressed.
Oh, yeah,
Is this your potential? What is your potential?
Yeah, I would not want my self-worth to be tied onto what people see.
Or the potential I perceive within myself.
Because we talked about this before. If you put out a video that gets 10,000 views and then your next video gets 2,000, you just, what's wrong? Is it me? Is it the topic? What are the people? How do I get those people back? And then you go back to the thing that got you 10,000 views and you just go, I'm just going to do that again. Same topic, like one of those drama YouTuber. You do another video on that drama YouTuber and then it gets 6,000 views and you go, why did this one do what? And that mindset of just because you've tied it to your people appreciate this, they're watching it, but then when they stop watching it or watch it a little bit less, you just go, what's wrong? And then you go, is it me? And then your self-worth goes down further.
I just wanted to, for some reason, watch the very first stream we did, which was Everything Great
JoJo.
About Part 5. And there were legitimately like 5 muffs talking in chat, maybe 3, honestly, throughout the whole thing. And I was like, hey, is these some of them still here? And then I just went, when do we start getting people? And it just took forever.
Just slowly, number go up. And it's just like, all right, 50 people, 30 people, 10 people, whatever.
Like, if you were to ask me what our average stream gets these days as terms of your live viewership, I could not begin to tell you. I could tell you the people that are frequently there, but I could not tell you the amount of people we frequently get.
I only know because the little pop-up comes up and just like, hey, run an ad when there's 50 people there.
Oh, is that what it happens? Ugh.
That's the only way that I know.
Recent times. But this channel gives me an identity.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not good.
This is...
Not to psychoanalyze. I don't know this individual. I don't know what they're going through. But based purely off of this, I'd just go, nah.
I mean, if this is what they need in their life, rock it. But I personally don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't need this channel.
We were doing things before this channel. We'll do things after this channel.
I'm fine. I work in IT. It's a not a very good job, but if I just came home, played video games, made some art, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Not only have I found something that I have a talent for, but something that actually provides an actual value to society and
actual value. What is
everybody that has a job provides some form of value to society.
A window washer cleans your window, and you just go, I can now see out of this window. A value has been provided to you.
Muffs that keep theaters clean after these savages just knock pot growers all over the place.
I went to a concert, just trash everywhere. I'm like, there's cans right. You guys, after the sets, you go back out there to the merch table or whatever. Just take your trash
and throw it in the trash can
I'm just embarrassed.
There was a recent tournament, I think CEO.
Oh
no, I'm not talking about the Evo stuff yet.
Okay.
The CEO where the lounge area of the hotel, the lobby area where people could just kind of sit down in the chairs and stuff, littered with trash. Top to bottom trash. And it's just like
I understand that 0%.
0%.
I will put stuff in my pocket.
Legitimately until I get to a trash can.
I've done that with whole sandwich containers that are in Big Mac comes in. I'll fold that mug up and just put it in my pocket.
Or it'll just be in my hand. I'll be like, all right, I know in like 2 blocks there's a trash can.
I've been driving by, people just throw whole bottles out there. I'm like, come on.
I saw somebody roll down their window so a kid could throw some trash out. And it's like, you're not teaching the kid the right thing.
I understand that. No percent. But yes, going back to it, those people have value.
Yeah.
Those people!
The lowest of society.
Clean my trash!
But it's really people that just want to leave some type of mark on the world. Some type of thing where they go, I am the person that did this. Not a worker bee, not a blah, blah, blah. Because if you get fired, if I get fired, if we quit our jobs, they'll bring somebody else in that will do roughly our jobs. They don't want to be that. They want to be, hey, I provided this thing and only I could have provided this thing.
At the end of the day, if he stops his YouTube channel, they're going to just move on to somebody else. It's not
it won't provide the exact same thing. It'll provide a different thing because, again, everything's unique.
But you can say that about any job because somebody making a sandwich can make it a little bit faster. They can add a little more mayo, add a little more ketchup. I answer the call different than somebody else.
But at the same time, even if you add a little bit more mayo, a muff's just gonna eat it and go, "That was a good sandwich." And that'll be the beginning and end. Now, it's different from that burger muff where I had to go back and go, you made a good burger. I just want you to know this. Because muffs was not lining up for that pomegranate bit until later on in the day. And then I just had to go, this is a good burger.
Hey, everyone. Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people.
Legitimately, there were some people walking by, they looked at the sign, they went, I promise you, it's a good burger.
Marketing was not that good. They could have.
Or it was good, or it was perfect. Because I'm going to try this.
Should have just put a little sign underneath it, just like, hey, trust us, or something. Because you look at a pomegranate burger, you go, I'd rather take 2 trips to the Dorito burger than take a pomegranate burger that I'm just going to have to sadly throw away in front of this muff and just go, I ain't voting for you. This gross. This fruit on meat. No, thank you.
But it worked.
But
it was so good.
So
it was so good, y'all.
Not better than Comet Burger.
Yeah, I know, because you went like 8 times since you've been.
4 times.
You are a monster.
It's so good.
It's okay, DA.
What?
I voted for it, okay? It wasn't my number 1.
One of the best burgers I've ever had. No notes. I do not add anything. I do not subtract anything. There's no extra. There's no light. You give me this burger, I swipe my card, you hand me the food, I walk away. No notes.
Like Popeye's chicken sandwich. Usually cheese, but nothing.
You're done here. Burger King chicken sandwich, I need barbecue sauce, cheese, bacon. Popeyes? Oh, I only got one piece of bread, just the top bun? Okay, I guess that's fine then.
Even in its current state, adds so much more value to people's lives than delivering fast food for £7 an hour. The idea...
But I feel like you provided sustenance to those people, and that's more value than a person that's gonna watch your video and then go, all right, that was cool, and then go to another video.
And there's people that physically cannot get the food, so they're reliant on that. There's people who are just lazy. There's people who just high and appreciate it. I think that you'll still get those of people. How many people are just like, yeah, whatever.
That me blurting out my opinion is actually helpful to even one aspiring writer or filmmaker alone gives me...
No, nobody that's aspiring to be a writer should take the lessons you gave here about Superman.
Which is essentially give flaws equal good.
Equal more interesting.
Compelling.
More than enough motivation to keep this channel going. The thought that within the past month, the number of you watching this channel has doubled, and that within the next month, it's entirely possible that number will double again.
What would have happened if it didn't? What if it happened if you stagnated? I just wonder.
Would your motivation to make videos go down? Would you have to increase the quality? And then even if you do increase the quality, it doesn't go up. Then you have to figure out, how do I increase the quality? Or are you just comfortable with just going, this is my audience. It'll go up a little bit. It'll go down a little bit. And we just keep it pushing.
I wonder if he's become one of those swoosh sound effect YouTubers where now it's like during the transition. Because I love CoffeeZilla, but he started doing a lot of that. It's just like, I see what you're doing. You're just trying to play the game.
Audience.
This is
retention. You
don't need this. You are the guy that talks about scams. Just give me the scams. Just talk about the scams. That's why I love Voidzilla so much. It's just him being petty and talking about scams.
Is beyond humbling to me. So, from the depths of my heart,
This is so much, dude. This is so very much. But it's not a lot for a guy that wants this. And it's clear he wants this. He's probably quit his job. He's probably happier than he's ever been. Mm-hmm. I would not be happier than I've ever been with 1 million subscribers.
But that's not what you want, and this is what he wants.
What would we do with 1 million subscribers?
This.
It doesn't matter if we got 1 or 1 million. It's this, baby. Field day, baby.
See you, field
Kick
day.
rocks.
Yeah, 1 million subs, and you still be like, welcome back to episode 320? Is it?
All right, let me look it up.
No difference.
Timestamps all wrong. Wrong name in the bits.
I just wanted to say thank you.
In your face, Superman!
No, loser. Yours.
Oh, shoot my monkey. I skywrote my own name. Backwards.
Twice.
You were just toying with me the whole time. Even from the start.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
That's a Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
That's a Hall of Fame, baby. That's a terrible video.
Yeah, like I said, if you're not really that familiar, it's fine to not be well versed in a lot of just. I like Captain America from the movies. I like this Captain America. I'm not going Captain America should be this or anything like. I do not propose to know that. And if I did, I'd be like, okay, based upon these, like you did, well, all of these stories, all of these moments, all of these things, where he just goes injustice, cartoons, others, the rest.
Yeah, I've read a fair few Superman comic. Injustice, this cartoon.
Crazy.
Couldn't even talk about some of the animated movies. Instead of Injustice. Couldn't talk about none of the comics, nothing. Injustice. This is a non-Superman fan trying to make people write Superman differently so they can enjoy it. No.
And he said, we've changed. The times have changed. We don't want this perfect thing anymore. So do something different. And it's like, no, just do the set character thing. And he wants
and
that
do it good.
Do something different because the times have changed.
Hall of Fame.
Crazy.
He a fan.
Field day.
Field day. It's gonna be early because I have a game I need to test. But beyond that,
I was thinking about since this is at the end of the month, we should do like a monthly wrap up of all the stuff that he's been through. Just like 10 minutes or so, just talking about all this that he's
we can do
been
that.
going through.
The monthly wrap.
He's been.
And then Brian gave up on him, just like, hey, that was the last session.
Did you see his
ever.
Omni bag last night?
No.
It is. Please let me find this.
Oh no!
It was one.
End of the stream. Now, guys, listen. We're at the end of the stream.
Of course, it always starts with now, guys. Now, guys. It's a meme. Surely he would have realized.
Now, guys, listen. We're at the end of the stream. Please support the stream. At this point, I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of saying it. All right.
I'm tired of asking.
This is such a Pokemon. What happened? I'm tired of it. People are lazy.
I'm tired of. I'm
done asking.
Hey, you guys, number not up. I'm tired of saying numbers not up. Just give me money and you don't have to hear this no more. Cool? We good?
You guys know what my goals are. I actually had a really good night of dowsing. All right? A really good night of dowsing.
And therefore,
I should be
compensated. Reciprocated. I did good. So where is my money? That's so. What if he did a bad day of it? Yeah. Should he not get money?
All those streams where he's like, "This is a horrible day," like Street Fighter. I'm not getting any.
So should he? Does he not deserve money then?
If you like the Street Fighter stuff, please support it. Or what am I supposed to do?
Now, get rid of it.
What am I supposed to do? There's no options. It's you guys support it, or I'm gonna keep playing it. But you guys, I'm tired of asking.
This was. I'm tired.
I'm tired of it. All right.
I'm tired of saying.
I'm tired of telling you to clean your room.
This is like
you're gonna learn.
It's like an adult talking to a kid, like a parent. I'm tired of telling you this. Take a shower.
You stink.
Not play Street Fighter as much. You guys said you were tired of Bison. I gave you a whole night of Dalsim good gameplay where I'm going back and forth with master people, right? Please support the stream. This is the last chance because we're at the end now. We only have
it's a last chance because we're at the end of the last chance to support me.
About 10-15 minutes left, like okay. Now, guys, listen. We're at the end of the stream. At this point, I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of saying it. All right?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired.
And you hear how fast he said.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired.
How do you not feel so embarrassed? Just going. I have made $8. It is these people, and it's like this dude. It's like these people are not giving me money based upon my work. What's wrong? I am playing Darkseid. You
didn't want Bison anymore. Okay.
I switched over. I'm doing well. You guys must be enjoying yourself because I'm doing well. But you're not coming out the pockets. And I don't understand it.
So there's a clear problem here. Clear disconnect.
And I'm tired of it. All right? I'm tired of bringing it up. I don't want to have to bring it up. If you would just simply give me $50 at least today, we'd be good.
Minimum.
I'll put on the glasses, the hat.
Oh, that was something else. He said recently, we haven't hit a tier 2 in so long. I don't know if we will at all. You know, it may not. Oh, dude, he sounded so sad. He understands he's getting close to being finished.
And the problem is, he's gotten rid of the hat, the vest, and all that stuff. He's gotten rid of talking about it because he'll just go, if I make $50, I'll be happy. That's what I'm aiming for. He doesn't go $50 hat, $100, $50 glasses, $100 hat, $150 vest.
What's the point of the other goals if $50 is all that he quote unquote needs?
Put them all on. Who cares?
Make it 15, 30, and 50 then.
Whatever. It's crazy. But yeah, that I'm tired of asking.
Unbelievable.
I'm simply tired of asking.
How could...
So?
I don't understand how you wake up and just... How you end your stream and just go, these people just not giving me enough money every day.
How do you feel coming off a stream like that? Let's say you make $13. It's just gotta be like, what now? What do I gotta do to get money? And sometimes he'll just pop on the stream, start the pre-stream, and somebody will break $100. He hasn't done anything, but he's gotten the money. So there is no like reward thing. He's just there. So he's not doing anything, but here he's going, I'm doing something good, so I should get money. But over here he's just like, I'm so appreciative that I just got money. There's no correlation of why you get money, Phil. It's not like you do good, you do bad, nothing. Somebody's gonna drop what they want to drop.
It's not even about the games anymore, because he tried with Elden Ring, it was a flop. Yeah. All these games that were supposed to quote unquote save things, they've all mostly flopped. The things that get money, they'll get money for like the first stream, first 2 streams, and it's just like, guys, I don't know what happened. Support dropped way off. We were good for the first stream, first 2 streams, you know, $50, $120.
There's always something that's gonna save it, because now he's just begging for the MVC collection. He's just like, it's supposed to be coming out. It's got a rating. Where is it? I want to play it. It's there. They had a tournament, so put it out. It's like, do you think it's just that easy? How does game releasing work feel behind the scenes? Yes,
he doesn't understand.
They got a rating. Does that instantly mean it is done? Patching, all completely done in terms of whatever needs to be done, day 1 patches, whatever it is, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't even know how online functionality is at this point, because it was an offline tournament. So what happens if they're just like, all right, put it out and then online is broken? You're going to go, why would they put this out now? Online's broken.
Man, but
he will never be anything but what he is.
That's more to talk about on our field day.
But there's always more to talk about with Phil.
It's the best time of the week, and I'm torn between like 4 things that I want to do. And I'm just like, well, this, but I can't. I wish I was on old, because I had something in the chamber where I'm just like, bam, done, easy. But here it's just like, this dude went on a Omega Cope a couple days ago.
Which part?
I'm playing this stuff. I'm a master. Like, and I did all that stuff.
I forgot about the Elden Ring. I did it. Oh, I heard. Yeah. Oh, I did that hard puzzle. I beat Elden Ring legit. No summoning.
And I'm on a master, and nobody cares. But if it was 10 years ago,
if it was the old Phil, people wouldn't care.
And
it kind of sucks that people cared about me back then when I was a jerk and not doing well. And now that I'm doing good, my brain's sharper than that.
I'm 42 years old and I'm beating Elden Ring, baby.
I'm at the best I've ever been.
I'm like, Phil, I can type in that final boss of Elden Ring right now, and I'm sure there's somebody blindfolded doing it on a DDR dance pad. Shut the up.
And that's just one. That's just one of a recent one that happened.
Shut the actual
That cope was crazy.
It was nuts.
I'm 40. When he did that, I shut it off. Like, I didn't hear it in the rest of that. And just like, I feel like I'm at a level that I've never been at.
I've got 3 things that I'm going for. And then he just goes on and I'm just like, all right, June 18th, pre-stream. I'm like, mother, why you doing this to me?
Because he can't not do this. Phil can never be anything but what Phil is. And Phil is the greatest man that has ever existed and the worst man that has ever existed. I go back to just listening to that in house tour like once every couple days. Just parts of it.
I hate it. I hate it because we've peaked.
Dude, the picture frame, the gin on the floor, the bathtub, Dude, the
picture at the end.
The gin bottle with the top hastily screwed back on. The fire alarm ripped off. The story about coats. Like, what are we doing?
So good. We've peaked.
There will probably be nothing as good Phil
For
content
a long time. Because it was the in debunk stream. That was it for the longest time. And then probably noodles again. Because the noodles, I go
the
back
noodles
to
is
so
so well, I love the debug screen. That's a white screen film.
and it's right here, and he's just holding something like, what's right there? It's a white screen.
He's the greatest, y'all.
I eat fruit juice. What was that?
That robotic grapefruit juice. Dude, I am happy that for anybody that has not fallen down this rabbit hole, and I am happy for anybody that has fallen down this rabbit hole.
Both options are completely valid, and you will be
preferable.
happy, and you will be happier than if you were on the other side.
Yeah, people are just getting cursed with this film knowledge, and millions going through it.
Good. People need to learn about him because he is one of a kind.
If
Truly.
nothing else, I'm happy this channel has introduced more people to Phil.
If zero else.
We could go away tomorrow and there'll be detractors stemming from us.
Because he's so interesting day to day to day.
Yep.
That's it.
The Evo thing with the seats. Terrible.
Oh, yeah. My goodness. What? I don't understand. You freaking
I understood
booty juice muff.
So the first one, the piss on the seat is apparently Red Bull.
Yeah.
But I also would understand, quote unquote, P, because they were like, hey, if you leave, you're out of here. And Mug did not want to leave. So I get their mindset of it. Bad. I would never piss like that or on myself to watch a muff push buttons. Sorry. All right. We do know what we're doing Saturday, and that's Phil stuff.
We absolutely do.
Come to those.
Those are always fantastic.
Unless you're not already in, then stay away. Far away.
Yep. Unless you want to get in.
Yeah.
In which case,
Come to
hey,
the
that's
Phil.
your own fault. We're not going to sound the alarm for you. That's fine. I don't, it technically counts. I said it.